like an inch away from him. You know, and to me, I don't think it's fair for him, and I don't think it's fair for ZANU-PF to allow the president to really keep working physically when he can spend time with the grandchildren, with his children, and impart knowledge, go to University of Zimbabwe's lecture, you know. I mean, imagine a Mugabe lecture. Imagine how many people would attend. You know, him leaving office and just doing lecturers, getting paid $1 million. For he'll still make money, he'll build his name, his legacy, will live on and so forth. We were told his book was being done by Dr. Shamyarira. Shamyarira, unfortunately, is not there anymore. So who's going to do his book? It's best that he retires and he does his book himself, which I think would really be an asset for all of us. Yes.
If I remember very well, some time back, your tone was like you were for Mnangagwa to take over as the president. But now you have shifted. You are urging people that to support those that are neutral, that have no ZANU-PF affiliation or any political links. Apart from what you said as your reasons of coming up with that shift, what exactly has shifted from you supporting Mnangagwa to now saying would rather have neutral people like Strive Masiwa, Nkosana Moyo, and Shingi Mnyeza?
That's a very good question, and let me make this very clear. I've always believed that change would have to be within ZANU-PF. I don't hide that. They are the ruling party until 2018, and Mnangagwa is the 2IC, and I believed that the president, in his wisdom, would pass the baton on to Mnangagwa so that the bleeding stops. And that's my rationale, that Mnangagwa is the 2IC, in ZANU-PF is Zanla, Mpoko is Zapu. So if you look at the constitution and what it says in terms of the Unity Accord, there's no way that a Zapu person will lead this country. So Mnangagwa being Zanla automatically takes over from Mugabe. And it was within until 2018 so that the bleeding stops, because the truth of the matter is that the economy is suffering under ZANU-PF, and you cannot do anything to change ZANU-PF until 2018. So in that, I advocated for Mnangagwa to take over so that he could address some of the economic challenges which are there. It's well known that for as long as Mugabe is the president, there's nobody who will ever invest money in Zimbabwe. That's well known. Unfortunately, Patrick Chinamasa cannot say that. We've gone to the IMF, we've gone to the World Bank, we've gone round and round, but no money has come in. The message is clear. Your head of state must step down, have a new leader, even within ZANU-PF, so that we can see progress and so forth. The conference in Masvingo, which was held in December, clearly endorsed him. I was hoping that the conference in Masvingo would then suggest that the president, he would announce that he's going to step aside for Mnangagwa to come in until 2018, and for Mnangagwa even to come in right now, he's not going to win 2018. There's a lot more that needs to be done. There's got to be time. You've got to understand that. There's got to be a lot more. While Mnangagwa is coming from ZANU-PF, there's also people outside ZANU-PF who need to be mobilized for him to win 2018. So 2018 was a different scenario. I was talking about before 2018, what must happen. So pretty clear, Mugabe is standing 2018, it's been endorsed. Mnangagwa was there at the conference when Mugabe was being endorsed. So for me, can we really have Mugabe 2018 as a president? No, we can't. And as a result, we now have to have an alternative. The third force, that's where it's coming in. And the third force certainly will benefit from even those from ZANU-PF who were hoping that Mnangagwa makes it. Because in moving forward, there was no ways we're going to talk about the third force without considering the thing Lacoste team. Because you've got to really benefit. And to us, if Lacoste makes it and G40 equally believes that they can work with the third force, so be it. We always benefit from the factional fights. And to me, that is indicative now that the First Lady has started campaigning for the President. I think it's pretty clear that, and no one can ever turn that around in ZANU-PF and say, no, Mugabe cannot stand and so forth. And I don't think we should pray for him to be sick or to be ill or for something, to happen to him which is not godly. I think God is in control of things. But for now, he's more than happy. I'm hoping that when he meets the thing youth, he might just change his tone and say, I've got some news for you. I'm intending to step down in 3 months' time. I'm hoping he says that. You know, so I don't know, maybe that would be a birthday message that he's keeping for us all. You know, that's the only thing left now. The 21st February movement message to the youth, you know, and so I think that would be my response to you. Yes?
Honorable Mliswa, I heard you say you are thinking of considering a home, like with your uncle as well as Rukarigumbu. We have the view that probably when you campaign for Norton, I think as the youth, we found it better for you because you are not part of the old guard. You are someone who is, we might say, younger than the current generation of the old guard. But now the challenge is, we seem to have a challenge in Zimbabwe where whenever we start a movement, we tend to think that we want to coalesce around the old guard. Isn't it time that we are now probably going to give them shelter? Like in the movements that we're starting up now, to say now, our old people now, just come rest with us. We take the knowledge, as you say, we appreciate the historians. And I think you were mentioning about the president so going to use that and giving a lecture. Why not the same with Rukarigumbu? Why not them also going to give like their rich knowledge, their knowledge of history? And now the younger generations, the people like you now coming up to say we are taking over. Because at the end of the day, when we go deeper again, probably when ZimdiTv started, personally I commented to say it is as equally good as the devil coming with the Bible in a Sunday service, trying to preach grace and salvation. Why not say, thank you, Madala, Maita Zakanaka Mos. Then when people like you are saying the Kasukweres and so forth, then we come up with the right mentality. And again, I think you're talking of numbers, penetrating the xenophobic base. But is it also just a question of numbers, just getting numbers, or it's now coming up with people with the right mentality? Because at the end of the day, our fear is, we still have yes, good numbers. You win, you probably remove Comrade Mugabe. But then we still have the people with the same mentality. The same people who do not have respect probably for what we have as a nation. So what does that mean? Do we think we are getting our ahead? Are we moving forward?
Yeah, let me respond to you. There is the party and there is government, and we must separate the two.
Yes.
Okay, and I believe that you need wisdom when it comes to the party. But you clearly have a constitution which says when you're over 60, you can't be in government.
Yes.
You see, you cannot stop President Mugabe, for example, when he retires from office, from being an advisor to ZANU-PF or sitting in the office at Shake.
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes.
So you can't throw away the experience and the wisdom. And wisdom has no age. In fact, the older you become, the more wise you are.
Yes.
So I'm looking at mixing the old, blending the old and the young. So the government is where it's operational. The government is where you need the technocrats at the end of the day. The young guys like you who are coming in. But there must be that understanding from the word go. You know, this country has a history of the struggle, which is in Wanambuya. So it takes time for you to really get them not to relate with that. So it is a process. But while you are making that change, there must be a smooth transition where there's also respect. We don't have to be radical because we have suffered, because they've been hostile to us, we also do the same. I think it is systematic. The war veterans coming in now, it's important, the traditional leaders being talked to. No. Allow a process where everybody exercises their votes. I think what we want is a free, fair, and credible election. That will only come about when there's no violence, there's no intimidation, there's no vote buying, and then the best man wins, even yourself. You know, we must create an environment where even you must be willing to stand anyway, knowing that it's my work, it is the policies that I'll present to people that will make me win, not the state machinery behind me.
Yeah.
You want to supplement?
Yes, I want to supplement. That's what I was saying. I totally agree when you say we appreciate the value in knowledge. But my question is, should we go to Rukarigumbu and Mtasa, or let us quote them, let them come to Mliswa? Why not have attract that old knowledge and say, let it come to Mliswa, rather than Mliswa going for Mtasa and Rukarigumbu? Isn't it supposed to be the other way around in this case?
I think it is a cultural issue. It is a cultural issue within us, and I think But what we must understand, Madara, are they willing to be in power or they are willing to impart? We must also separate that.
Yes.
Mugabe wants to be in power. He doesn't want to impart. Does Didmus want to be in power? Does Rukarigumbu want to be in power? So we need to also create a certain certain leaders in Mugabe's era who are saying we don't want to be in power. We want a good Zimbabwe that we fought for. And I see that in those Madaras at the end of the day. Any other question? Okay, thank you very much for this. I thank you. I hope it will certainly reach as many people so that we move forward as a country. Thank you.